Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's enjoying this beautiful Saturday that we have today. Last weekend before school starts on Monday. I'd like to take just a couple minutes here to kind of go through a few things, a few new protocols that we have in place. One, we want to say how excited we are that we're going to be able to start school on Monday with students in person. It's been far too long. The building's been far too quiet. So I'm really excited to see everybody show up here on Monday. But again, I want to go through a few new protocols that we have in place to try to ensure everybody's safety so we can keep in person all year long. All right, so if you'll please bear with me. I'm going to switch my screen here. All right, first off, I want to kind of go over the arrival time. All right, any students that are coming to eat breakfast at school are going to take part in the school breakfast program. I want you to be here around 7:40, 7:45, and therefore that's when you'll go to the cafeteria and eat breakfast. Serving starts at 7:40. So again, if you're going to plan on eating the school breakfast program, try to be there at 7:40. For those students that are not going to eat breakfast in the cafeteria, I ask that you don't show up until about 7:55 to 8 o'clock. Our school day starts at 8:05. That's when you have to be in class, your first hour class, so you're not tardy. But again, we're going to really encourage no hanging out and grouping up and everything like that. So therefore, we ask that you don't come to school till about 7:55 to 8 o'clock in the morning. All right. When you do get to school, all students, you'll enter the south enter and exit right here. All right. Any of our elementary parents that might be dropping off the elementary kids for the breakfast program, this is also where you need to plan to have your kids enter. So when you drop off, they're going to have to come in the south entrance to the building. All students will get their temperature taken upon entry. We're going to try to have a few safety measures in place to make sure nobody, inadvertently shows up with a fever. So we wouldn't have to hopefully expose anybody in school. So we'll do a temperature check upon your entry into the building. And then they can proceed down the hallway down to the cafeteria and eat. You're welcome to use the drive. It doesn't show on this map, but that comes around the building here, and you can simply let your child off here so they can enter in here. Of course, our high school students that'll be driving, your parking lot's in the south parking lot there, and so we'll enter the south door. Okay. Those students that are not eating breakfast when you arrive after you get your temperature check, all right, if you have any, even those students that are eating breakfast, when you arrive, if you have any athletic gear, PE gear, practice gear and stuff like that, you'll immediately go put it into your designated locker room. High school boys is here, junior high boys is over here, high school girls locker room is this far corner, and the junior high girls. All right, so any duffel bags or athletic equipment upon your entry after you get your temperature check, you put those items, those bags in the designated locker rooms. That's where they will go upon entry. All right, and then again, if you're eating breakfast, you'll go to the cafeteria. If you arrive to not eat breakfast, you'll go immediately to your first hour class. Your first hour class upon entry after you get checked into the building here. All right, a few things that, of course, I think many of you may know, the returning students, we are not issuing lockers at this time. Basic reason for that is it eliminates a gathering area, and then it also, believe it or not, when you have students at lockers on this side and students at their lockers on this side of the hallway, it makes our hallways really narrow. And so to make the traffic flow for class changes in our hallways a little bit more efficient, so there's less boggling up or crowding, we have went to the idea of not issuing the lockers. Again, so all of your school supply stuff you'll need to make sure you can maintain in your book bag. Again, we'll put all your athletic gear in the gym in their locker rooms, so that's where they'll set out throughout the day. But everything else you're going to take with you. Again, upon entry, you will go to your first hour class, and I'm going to kind of go through a little bit of the classroom map here in just a few seconds. Also, students, of course, we have the governor's order for masks that we are following at USD 303. You are encouraged, if you want to bring your own, you are sure welcome to do that. All students upon entry will be given 5 masks. We'll have little baggies with 5 masks and a neck lanyard. So you can sure pull one of those out if you don't have one when you show up. But anytime we are inside the facilities of USD 303, there are a few exceptions, and I'll go through those on the very first day of school with all the students. But mask must be worn. You must cover your mouth and your nose with a mask. Again, we'll give every student 5 in a baggie upon your arrival when you first get to school there. All right. Okay. The classrooms. All right. Junior high kids, we know you will either be in band or enrichment your first class. So upon entry, after breakfast, or if you're going there, you'll go straight to the band room if you're in band. And if you're in junior high enrichment, that's with Miss Turner. Her classroom is located right here. However, because of the size of the class and the size of her classroom, we're going to actually have you meet here in the library classroom in this area right here. So if you have junior high enrichment first hour, that's where you will enter as you get to the building, then after breakfast if you eat breakfast. All right. The other classrooms, we've had some changes, and so I'll just kind of go through everybody's classroom. Mr. Beathy, if you have Mr. Beathy anytime during the day, he is now in this classroom that's in the northwest corner. That's where Mr. Beathy at. Mr. Allen, his classroom is right next door. It was the old computer lab. We have removed the computers and reconfigured that room. That is now going to be Mr. Allen's room. All right, if you have Mr. Klausenbutcher for science, one of our science teachers, this is his lab. Is right here. And Mr. Emig, another new teacher for us, his science lab is over here. So those are our 2 science teachers and where they're located at. All right. If you're in Mr. Rogers' class, you have Mr. Rogers. You're going to be here. That's where Mr. Allen was located at for the returning students, but then Mr. Rogers is now located there. And Mrs. Foose, who was over at the grade school, she has moved over here into where Mr. Beathy was at. So Mrs. Foose is located right there. All right. I've already said, but Mrs. Turner, one of our new English teachers, she will be in this classroom right here. Mrs. Beathy did not move. Her classroom is in the same location. Mrs. Flax, her location hasn't changed. And Miss Bernbeck, same location for her. All right, that's where their location at. All right, in our fax room, okay, as we typically call it, the home ec room, this is what's going to be the freshman health classroom. Mrs. Finley will hold her classes in here, so her speech classes and psychology will be held in here. That's the location there. And then actually this is also going to be used for a couple other classes that are too big for the respective classrooms, but we'll explain that on the first day. No change. Our ag classroom is out here. It's not showing on the map. So Miss Thompson, our ag teacher, you'll go out there to the ag shop classroom if you have her. And then also our weight room is also out there. So Mr. Coles, when he has his weights classes, will be out there. Industrial arts and art have not changed. So Mrs. Mack here and Mr. Kerr out there, their locations are the same. And then of course the gym where Mr. Younger will hold his PE classes, we're out here, and Mrs. Wireman, again, she's in the music room for the classes there. All right, our office is located in the same location. It hasn't changed. One little change though with the office, the door to the office, we're going to try to remain closed throughout the majority of the day. The window, we call it the drive-up window. All right, we have a glass window right here that will be open, and so students, if you're needing to access the office for any information or questions, just come to the hallway right outside and use the window. As like I say, we will try to keep the crowds inside the office limited because it is such a small space, the foyer of the office, and so therefore come to the window there. All right. Last thing I have here, we do want to encourage anytime students, if you're feeling ill or anybody has any symptoms that might be associated with COVID, to play it safe. Stay home, give us a call, call your healthcare provider or the county health nurse or anything like that. But if you have any fever, cough, shortness of breath, loss of taste, any of those symptoms, or that you're just not feeling good, we ask that you stay home. We want to try to protect the student body so we can keep it out of the building, because that's going to be our best measure of prevention is keeping it out of our building. So like I say, if you have any questions, though, we always ask, don't hesitate, give us a call, shoot me an email. We'll try to answer any and all questions that we have. But again, we look forward to seeing everybody Monday morning. It's been too long. I'm excited. Again, just don't arrive too early because, like I say, we're kind of eliminating that traffic in the hallways before, after school, passing periods. We need to make it efficient, and so we're going to keep you in the classrooms. I know a lot of people are worried about the masks. We're going to take time to schedule plenty of mask breaks. And when we're outside and we have social distancing, you're going to be able to take it off. We'll go through all those protocols first day of school when we have our assembly, very first thing. But we're just, like I said, we want to do everything we can to keep everybody safe so we can be in person every day for, I think, 175 days that we have scheduled this year. Everybody have a great rest of the weekend. Again, we'll see you Monday morning.